budget insurance. Affordable because you can't afford not to.
Hello and welcome to another Cars.co.za car review. My name is Chiro de Siena, I think that's how you pronounce it, and this is a review of the new Hyundai i20. Now first of all, what we have to talk about is how do you pronounce Hyundai? They say Hyundai like Sunday, but it just doesn't feel right. I like saying Hyundai. But that's probably completely wrong, isn't it? Anyway, doesn't matter because this is their brand new little hatchback. It's up against cars like the Ford Fiesta, the VW Polo, the Opel Corsa, the Peugeot 208. And that is some pretty stiff competition. Really stiff competition, actually. The pricing of this model is in line with those, the engine power, the engine size, the general size of the vehicle. So Hyundai i20 has got to fight off some pretty fierce competition here. So what have Hyundai like Sunday thrown into this car to make you want to buy it? Well, let's start with the power, the engine under the bonnet. 1 liter 3-cylinder turbo, exactly the same as you get in something like a Ford Fiesta or a VW Polo, but it outpunches both of those cars quite significantly, actually. In fact, power is more in line with the larger 1.2 liter engine that you get in the Opel Corsa, which they get from Peugeot. So about 90 odd kilowatts in here, sort of same torque figure as the other cars, 170 odd torques, but this thing feels pretty peppy. This is not a slow car. And you know what I quite like is when you're at 120 k's an hour on the highway and you put your foot down to overtake, for instance, this thing goes, it moves. And that is often a bit of a problem in these small engined hatchbacks. So in terms of power and torque, absolutely no problems here. And you know what? Efficiency is very good as well. And often the two don't go together because the reality is if you want more power, you need to burn more petrol. That's just how this works. And on the way out here to the shoot, I was averaging 6 liters to the 100. In fact, I saw it drop to 5.9, which is better than the claim for this car, which is an average of 6.5. Obviously, highway driving is using less fuel. It's going to go up a bit, 10 to 20% maybe around town, or if you drive like a knob. But out on the open road, yeah, 6 liters to the 100. That's really, really good. And I think in the real world, this will be more efficient than the Polo and the Fiesta, even though those cars claim better efficiency figures. I haven't driven those cars for a while, but as memory serves, I remember thinking they were a lot thirstier than their official figures suggested. So I'm very impressed as well with the fuel efficiency of this car. And you know, the thing about the price of petrol is it only goes in one direction, doesn't it? I mean, sometimes it goes down, but most of the time it goes up. So you want a car that runs on the idea of petrol. You know, you just want to be able to describe petrol to the car, and the car's like, cool, I'm good to go. You know, let's get out of here. That's what you want. So I am driving the Hyundai i20 1 liter turbo fluid manual. And this car will set you back 330,000 Rand, which is an interesting price point because the entry-level Ford Fiesta is exactly the same price, 330,000 Rand. You can also get a Polo Comfort Line for about the same money, and you can also get a Corsa for about the same money. But with the Polo, the Corsa, and the Fiesta, those are all entry-level or mid-spec models. This fluid is the top-spec Hyundai i20. The only i20 you can get that costs more than this is if you go for the auto box. That's it. This is the top of the range. And that means that they've pretty much thrown everything in here. So everything I'm about to talk about, everything you see and everything I mention is included in the price. And that means that this car is quite a bit better spec than something like your mid-range Polo or your mid-range Fiesta. The ride quality is pretty good. it's pretty comfortable, it's pretty smooth, it deals with road imperfections okay, it cruises very nicely, it feels comfortable at highway speeds, it feels nice and stable at highway speeds, which is good. It doesn't deal with road imperfections very well. It's okay, but you can tell that Hyundai have put some effort into making this a quiet and comfortable car. So that's all fine. However, where things start to fall down for me a little bit is in the sort of general ergonomics of the car. So the seating position is a little high, and that's fine, you know, you get good visibility out on the road, but try as I might, I cannot find a comfortable driving position in this car. The seat, it's not terribly well designed. The lumbar support is not quite right. I can't quite seem to get the steering wheel in the right position. I can't quite seem to get my distance from the clutch pedal in the right position. And I mean, this has got rake and reach adjustment, which is nice. Some cars don't have that. But I don't know, I can't get quite comfortable in here, and that's not great. And the thing is, I thought it was just me, so I phoned Ashley Oldfield, our in-house racing driver, and he said the same thing, and his body shape is completely different to mine. He's basically made up of 90% legs, and then just the rest of him, just a small bit of torso and arms. So he said he couldn't get comfortable either. So seems to be a little bit of an issue with this car, that it doesn't feel quite as well thought out as some of its competitors. Welcome to the interior of the Hyundai i20, and I'm going to take you through all the specs of this car versus the specs of the VW Polo, because that is the most popular car in this segment. And the best way to do this, for me and for you at home, is to use the Cars.co.za app. It's completely free, and you can add 4 cars to a compare tool, compare them side by side, and it has all the latest information updated automatically all the time. So you always get the latest pricing, for instance. Highly recommended. So I've gone through the spec sheet so you don't have to, and I've discovered some things. So because this is the top of the range i20, it's got quite a lot of bells and whistles that you won't get in, say, the equivalently priced Polo or Fiesta or Corsa, because for this money you're getting a low spec or a mid spec version of those cars. So this car is priced with the Comfort Line manual Polo, and in the Polo, for instance, you're getting cloth seats. Here you're getting this nice artificial leather with a nice artificial leather steering wheel. Red stitching here is a nice touch, and on the seats as well, so that makes the cabin feel a bit more premium. Touchscreen infotainment system is a nice touch as well, with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay as standard. You won't get that in the Polo. Also get a reverse camera in here as standard. It's an optional extra in the Polo. However, in the Polo you can get a sunroof. You have to pay extra obviously, but in here you can't get a sunroof at all. In the Polo you can add automatic climate control if you want. You can't do that in here at all, unfortunately. So there are a couple of things which this Hyundai has got going for it over the Polo. In terms of safety, both cars have 6 airbags. That's quite nice. Curtain airbags, those are important. I do like those. However, in the Hyundai you don't get electronic stability control, which I think is a very important feature. In fact, you can't sell a car in Europe without it, and you do get that as standard in those other cars that I mentioned. But quite a nice touch in here though. 2 USB ports down here, as well as a 12-volt socket. That's very convenient, and a wireless charging pad. Nice, very nice. In terms of boot space, the Hyundai fares fairly well, offering 311 litres, which is a touch more than the Fiesta, but noticeably less than the Polo, which offers 350 on paper at least. A downside to the load area in the i20 is the folding rear bench, which doesn't fold in a 60-40 split, but rather as one piece. This means that if you need to fold it down, you lose your back seats entirely. The thing is that Hyundai goes after the European market with this car. So they do know that they're chasing the Fiestas, Peugeots, Renaults, Citroens, those sorts of cars which are very popular in that market. And so they sort of tailor make this car for Europe. And for me, that means that they do have a proper go at making it feel quite premium in here. And so for your money, you are getting, in my opinion, quite a quality product. It does have some niggles, some things I don't quite like. I do think other cars, like for instance the Corsa, are a bit better designed and a bit better thought out than this Hyundai i20. But at this price point, you're actually doing quite well. For instance, $330, if you go spend $330 on a Polo, you're getting the comfort line, you're getting cloth seats, you're only getting 15-inch wheels. On here, you're getting 16-inch wheels, for instance. So there is a little bit of value here extra embedded into the car. And you know where this car really, really shines is in terms of your warranty and service plan. So if you compare with the Polo offers 3-year service plan, 3-year warranty. Here you're getting 4-year service plan, 7-year warranty. Now I should caveat that by saying that in the Hyundai, you are getting a 5+2 warranty. It's split. So for the first 5 years, you've got full cover. And then for the last 2 years, you get what's called a drivetrain warranty. And that means that if anything goes with the gearbox or the engine, anything responsible for actually driving the car, then you're covered. But for instance, if say a window switch goes, then that's for your account. But all that being said, 5+2 is a lot longer than 3. Now, of course, on a Polo, you can extend the warranty when you buy the car, but then you're just spending more money, and that makes this car look like even better value. The real issue, though, when it comes to these hatchbacks, is that in South Africa, we love SUVs. The whole market's moving towards SUVs. And there are a lot of new little crossovers on the market, little mini SUVs, which you can pick up for less than this car, for less than a Polo, for less than a Fiesta, for less than a Corsa. You can buy a Suzuki Vitara Brezza, you can buy a Toyota Urban Cruiser, a Nissan Magnite, a Kia Sonet, all for less than this car. And you'll get the top spec versions of those cars. Now, it is worth pointing out that this car is better spec than most of those cars. For instance, in here, you're getting 6 airbags, including curtain airbags. And in something like the Toyota Urban Cruiser, you're only getting 2. So that's quite a big difference in terms of safety. Also in the Toyota Urban Cruiser, you're only getting cloth seats as well for the same sort of money. But something like a Kia Sonet, a Nissan Magnite, those are all very appealing cars. And it makes me feel like the South African market is just going to move away from good little hatchbacks like this to those little SUVs. So you've just watched one of our Cars.co.za videos, but did you know that we have over 500 car reviews, races, and other assorted types of videos on our YouTube channel? So head over there. I'm almost certain you'll find something that you like. Definitely. I believe you will.
Budget insurance. Affordable because you can't afford not to.